If you're a local business owner doing anywhere between 15 and 30K per month and you want to get through it as quick as possible, and it's maybe coming up in the future, or you're in it right now and you just want to get past it as quick as possible, then this is the exact video you need to watch to see the real differences between where you are right now versus local businesses doing 100K a month plus, or even 50K, just above, that 15 to 30K per month bracket where a lot of local businesses get stuck for a long time. So I'm going to go through how are they getting leads, how are they getting leads, how do they close those leads, what are they doing to maximize, so getting even more returns from each one of their clients, and just a final, key takeaways and some final notes. So how do they get leads? We're going to start off with the 15K per month local business. So most of them have like 1 to 2 key main underperforming channels. And that is the thing here. These channels tend to underperform compared to the rest. They may be posting on even more channels, but what they're doing is they're posting inconsistently and they're overselling the audience. So what they're doing every single time they're posting, they're trying to sell something. And it just feels like they're milking away at their audience and that it doesn't even matter. And you need to think about it like this. Imagine your audience or your channel as a bank. Every time you go to, take away and sell, you're taking money out of that bank. But if you're not providing value, which is putting money into that bank, then you have nothing to pull out. So you need to be providing value to your audience so they actually can get something from it. For example, me, I have a growth partner agency. So I work with businesses exactly like this in this 15 to 30K per month. I'll be straight. And I want to make these videos so that they can kind of get through and see kind of what I do, and potentially they can come and work with me. So you need to be providing value like that and showing real things that actually matter for your key audience. And that's also understanding who that key audience is. A lot of businesses I ask and they say, I'm like, oh, who's your key, who's your ICP? And they have I don't know, anybody with $50 in their back pocket. And I'm like, okay. So if somebody walks in your door right now, who is the person who would spend the most amount of money? Who are they? What's their age, their demographic, all that sort of stuff. And they just have no idea. And then they're going ahead and posting on these channels and they have no idea who they're posting to, who they need to be speaking to. So as an example, if we will talk like a chiropractor and I would ask them that question, who's their ICP? The person with the lower amount of revenue is just going to have something very blanket, very just, oh yeah, people who are in pain. It doesn't really help the situation if you're targeting to such a broad audience. You need to kind of niche down to get to that point, and you need to perfect that niche, and then you can broaden out. And if you're not doing this, then you're going to be getting a lot of people who look like this. They have a low LTV, lifetime value. They're painful to deal with. They're not purchasing heaps every time they come in. So if it is a chiropractor, maybe they're just getting the cheapest thing on the menu and they're never happy. Compared to if you know who your ICP is and it's this person who is spending more over their lifetime, they're happy, they tell their friends, and they spend loads every time they come in, you want to be targeting those people. If you have a look at this, it's like you're posting content and every time you're posting, you just sometimes hit a lucky shot and get this guy, but 9 times out of 10, you're getting this person who you don't even want in, but you take them, and it's just because of these points here. You don't have a good offer, you don't know who it is you're trying to target, and you're overselling the audience every single time, and you're posting inconsistently. For the second channel, a lot of them have tried Facebook ads. So if you're watching this and you've tried Facebook ads and you've said, ads don't work for me, I've tried already, it's not you. Well, it is you, but it's not that Facebook ads don't work for you. It's just because you don't know how to use them correctly. Because first off, a lot of people do not have a good offer. If you go and look at the Facebook ads library right now of your local area in the same niche, same business as you, I guarantee there's probably not heaps of people running ads, and B, they probably have a really bad offer with not clear copy and their creatives probably suck. And you're probably just targeting the wrong people. It's the exact same thing. Not knowing who you're targeting is going to make it really, really hard to target that person. So first, what I want you to do is actually know exactly who this person is. So I'll go through it in a second when we get to the 100K per month, but you just need to understand exactly who your ideal customer is so that you can target them, whether it's with organic Instagram or whether it's like paid channels like Meta ads. You need to be targeting the right people and not targeting the wrong awareness level. I see a lot of people, they run like marketing campaigns, but what they're doing here, they just block out all of this. So this is the like pyramid of awareness, the stages of awareness. 3% of the market is up here and they're ready to buy right now. So you put out an ad and 3% of the people who see that just ready to buy, and now they have their cards in their hand already. But what you don't know is that everybody else in your market, in your area, is also picking out of that 3%. So imagine you have 10 people, and that's probably an understatement, in your local area, if it's a city with 1 million people, and you have 10 other people picking at this 3%, it gets spread thin pretty quick. So that's when you need to go down a level and even down all the levels so you can get across all of these. So you can target the people who are just kind of gathering information. Maybe they're aware of the problem or aware of the solution, but not aware of you. And then you got to target the people who are problem aware, and then the people who are not even problem aware. Because realistically, a lot of people just look at this pyramid like this. They only try and target people up the top because they think, oh, it's the easiest. Because people think that just because it's 3% who are ready to buy now, they're the easiest to go after. Yes, they are. But as I said before, it's spread thin across all of the market who is in your local area. But not only is it just spread thin because so many people are, but you will run out of these people a lot quicker than you run out of people who are problem aware. And it's not just changing the settings in your Facebook ads. It's actually utilizing creative and copy, so the text and the image or video, so that you can target the right people through those videos. For example, if we're talking chiropractor again, you might have one ad for the buying now, and it's literally just an offer. It's straight up an offer saying, I'm not sure how much chiropractors charge, but let's say like $100 for an adjustment. And that is literally targeting that person who's ready to buy now. They might tap that and book it in straight away. But someone who's gathering information, you might need to run an ad with more information, whether it's a video ad, a founder led, or a client who's come in the past. Or maybe it's someone who's problem aware, but they're not aware of the solution. They don't know that they can come in and get an adjustment to fix this. So you need to be running ads so that you can target these people. So you can maybe run another ad of a founder-led or a client who has come in, who had the same problem as them, and you can make this video ad so they can see it and realize, oh, I have this problem, here's a solution, let's gather more information, then let's buy. Instead of just looking at it at the top, which is a mistake a lot of people do, and it's just a mistake I've made in the past. But you need to understand this to have much, much better performing channels and much, much more lead flow. And if you were to continue to do this, your lead flow will be random. Lead capture, you might have like a lead form on your website, direct a call, email us, WhatsApp me, direct book, all these different channels that are underperforming, and your follow-up is slow, it's inconsistent, and it's manual. If you were to take one thing from this video, it would be to follow up with all of your leads as quick as possible. I don't mean like follow up with them within an hour. I mean, as soon as they come in, follow up with that lead, and you will see your close rate just from that skyrocket. I guarantee you, if you can follow up with your leads quicker when it's on the top of their mind, you will close more. And all of this stuff combined just leads to bad conversion. So you see here, you've got all these wrong people that you're attracting into your funnel. And since you have these slow, inconsistent, and manual follow-ups, manual isn't really the problem, but it's the slow and the inconsistency that will cause you to get a bad conversion rate, and you'll be converting these people who don't pay you money compared to this guy who pays heaps. Obviously, it's very generic because it's kind of a broader spectrum. There is a bunch of local businesses, so I don't really want to niche down crazy for this video. Now I'm going to go over this 100K per month business. I'm going to show you kind of the differences between the two, starting off again with the Instagram. So if you have a look at like their Instagram, for example, as before, they're posting consistently. So it's not like 1 week they're doing 7 posts, the next one they're doing 2, 1, and the next they're doing none at all. They're posting consistently, whether it's once a day, whether it's twice a day, 3 times a day. They're doing it consistently. And they're actually providing value to their audience. So they're not just trying to sell them in every single post, and they know exactly who their ICP is. So if we're looking back at the chiropractor as an example, they have consistent back pain, age 35 to 45. They're doing labor intensive work. Their pain is preventing them from working and enjoying time off work, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get rid of the pain. And that's this person who pays more over their lifetime. They're happy, they tell their friends, and they spend loads. If you can target this person, you will just get more of them. And if you can know how to target them and know what they want, you will get more of them. It's as simple as that. And in addition, if you have an amazing offer, you will get more leads and convert more of them. It's like a two birds in one stone kind of thing. And it's the same for the ads. Like, taking organic and using it similar to your paid is a very, very good thing, because, for example, if you have something that organic that converts well, chances are you can put it, like, you can run it to paid, like run it on meta ads, and it will perform well too. Like, it's not all the time, but likely it is pretty much like that. And just learning how, like, as I was saying before, targeting this person with your copy and your creative. So that's your video and the text that goes underneath it. And targeting all these different awareness levels. So maybe when you're going and you're running your ads, you have creatives for this. You have creatives for problem aware, gathering, and buying now. So you can tick off all of these and say that, yeah, I have unlimited lead flow because I know how to target. And targeting is not just in your campaign settings. It's not in your ad set level. It is in your creative, it's in your copy. And that is what you need to be doing if you want to actually be getting the most out of these channels. And if you were to do this, your lead flow will become predictable. Amazing, right? And hopefully it will look a little bit more like this. So, you have a lead magnet, a high converting landing page with a great offer, and your follow-up is quick, it's consistent, and maybe it's even automated. So eventually your funnel, maybe not exactly like this, your CRM might not be for 6-year-olds, but hopefully you'll be able to get way, way more leads just with having a great offer, a good lead magnet, good ads, consistency. And because you know who you're targeting, you will get less of the people who are paying less. And with your follow-up and good offers, you will just close more people. I think this is like a 50% close rate right here, which is, it's good. And now I'm going to look at kind of how do they close leads. So once these leads are coming in from, these channels, Instagram, Facebook ads, how are they actually going about closing them? And let's go see what the 15K month is doing. So their offers are very generic. So you see what I mean by generic is just like 20% off, 50% off. Offers like that, yeah, they're good, but there is offers that are way, way better that you're not using that will get you more clients just by changing the offer. And it will both get you more leads and allow you to close more of them just by getting a better offer. I guarantee you, if you were to change not one thing, but two things actually, I know I said one before, if you were to have better offers and better follow-up, you could probably double your business like tomorrow. Not like tomorrow, but like if you started implementing that today, you will start seeing growth as soon as you implement that and as soon as you start doing these things. And another thing is they're very, very price-based. So instead of competing on value, they're competing on price. So if we're looking at the chiropractor as an example, just because it's, very generic, one of them is doing, let's say 200, and one of them's at 100 because, if I do it at 100, that means, I'll get more clients. But it also means you need twice the amount of clients to get the same amount of revenue, which kind of sucks. And they're low ticket, so it's the same thing. They're charging less just to get more clients, which isn't a good way to operate a business. And they have no sort of upsells, downsells, continuity, nothing like that. Client comes in and they just hope they stay. And that's it. They wing the process. So I'm talking like no scripts, no systems. They just hope and dream that the client actually buys. And they see these two clients like that we went over before with the low LTV versus high. They see them as the exact same. They don't know the difference between the two. And as I said before, their process is manual. So they have no sort of landing page, no pre-qualifying to get rid of this person. and it's usually the owner doing all the sales, which isn't a problem to like a certain point, but eventually you want to take yourself out of that boat so you can actually be working on getting people in. And if you were like an owner who like has to be doing it, like your business relies on you delivering the product, then you should be focusing on that than getting all the sales. And this is basically kind of what their funnel might look like. They might start out on Instagram or Facebook ads, go to a website, not even like a landing page or a dedicated like a sales page, and then just a lead form, and then it will take 7 hours for them to follow up, and then hopefully they book, and then they take payment, and that's it. Their funnel just looks like that, and it's really, really basic, and they can't really rely on it. And then on the other hand, with 100K a month per business, this is what their kind of follow-up, how their closing leads will look like. Their offers are just amazing, and they're value-based. So rather than like making their offers just cheap and their offers being 50% off for the next 24 hours, they're actually providing more value, and they're building that discrepancy between the price and the value of their service or product so they can get more people in the door. And they're making it irresistible. Like Alex Hormozi, irresistible offers, making offers so good that people feel stupid saying no. And they're charging higher ticket. Like if you were just to increase your prices, as long as everything else is good, you will just get more revenue. And if you have one guy who's selling something for 100 versus one for 500, the other guy needs to sell 5 times more just to outsell the guy who's selling at a high ticket. And I'm not saying just start selling high ticket today, because obviously it depends on a bunch of different industries and business models, all that sort of thing. Like if McDonald's started selling burgers at like $20, I'm sure not a lot of people would buy that. And they're actually using like the upsells, downsells, and continuity, stuff like that, so their clients are spending more, and the ones who aren't willing to, they're still coming in, and their clients are coming in over and over again to get a better lifetime value. And they actually have a sales process and scripts. They have systems so that they can maximize the chance that somebody comes in and actually buys. So it's not like a 50-50 chance or even like a 30% chance that somebody comes in the door and buys. They're doing everything they can with these proven systems and processes to make the process easy as you get the idea. And they're doing this because they have landing pages. They're pre-qualifying to get rid of that annoying low LTV, low order value customer. And they have salespeople closing constantly. So even around the board, 9 to 5, it's not the owner, it's people who are actually dedicated, like it's their job to close. And then it'll look a bit more like this. So they're using Instagram or ads or both. That's a plus. And they have a dedicated landing page so that they can drive traffic directly to that, so that their ads is correlated to their landing page so they can close more people and make it not confusing. They're pre-qualifying, obviously depending on the ticket, and they're taking bookings, they're getting payment, and they're recycling that over and over and over again to make their clients' LTV, lifetime value, skyrocket. And if you can make your clients pay you more, come back more often, and just make them more valuable, you could increase the amount of revenue you're getting and increase the profit from each client, because you're not having to pay for them to come back again and again. And you can just grow your business like crazy, honestly. So now we're looking at how do they maximize client value. So starting off with the 15K per month, and honestly, they're not doing heaps. This is going to be kind of a generic kind of how-to and kind of telling you a little bit about kind of what this is, if you don't already know, which hopefully you do, but pretty much upsells to increase the average order value of each client. And there's 3 ways you can do this. You can do more, better, or new. So if somebody comes in, using that Mac as an example again, if somebody comes in for a burger, you can give them 2 burgers. Or you can give them something new by giving a burger and then upselling them with fries. Or you can get them a golden burger. Or you can do a combination and you can get them a golden burger plus some golden chips. So you're getting them new and better. And then continuity. So we're looking at like getting clients to stay longer. For example, here's like a loyalty card from a cafe. So you come in 9 times, and then you get your 5th coffee free. So rather than somebody going to one coffee shop one day and then another the other, and then just going like back and forth, they come in And maybe over the course of a week or 2 weeks, they end up spending 45 rather than 20. And let's just say they've doubled their lifetime value just by having a little card. And if we're talking like a service or a software, you could say $100 per month, or you buy 1 year and you get 2 months for free. So one, it's like a higher ticket, and you're getting them to stay for longer by incentivizing them with this 2 months free if they pay for the year up front. So I made this little chart here. It's comfort over time, because a lot of people who are in that 15K per month to that 30K per month as a local business aren't upselling at the right time. So for example, as a chiropractor, they might be selling a prevention plan when their comfort is the least. That just sounds stupid, but it's a real thing. It's maybe a bit extreme, but it probably happens. And then when they have the most amount of comfort and their back pain is gone, then they're like, oh, I'm going to sell you a treatment plan. It's like, it's a bit too late for that. So just knowing when to upsell the right things, like this should be switched. This needs to be switched. And then you'll probably get a lot more uptakes on these upsells and on these new things because you're just selling them at the right time. And just for example, if you had 5 people who come in for a $150 thing, a lot of the business owners of these local businesses aren't even upselling anything. So they come in, have your days. That's done. They bought their thing. Good day. Get out. Here you go. Next person comes in. But now we're looking at the 100K per month, and you'll see how much different it is compared to the 15K per month. I think this is like one of the biggest differences, is like kind of the back end. Look, just starting out, like going back to these 5 people who come in for that $150 thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, still getting that thing for 150. But let's say 1 out of 5 of them, so a 20% take rate on a $750 upsell. So now it's gone from a total like revenue of $750 to a total revenue of $1,350 just by getting one person to buy something at 5x the price. And then let's say later down the road, you upsell 3 of them to something for $450 or an extra $300. So now you've gone from a revenue of $750 to revenue of $2,250 just by providing the right upsells at the right time. And just actually having the upsell offer, because a lot of people just don't have it at all. And going back to that, as you know, if it was the chiropractor, you're actually providing the right upsells at the right time. So instead of providing the treatment plan at the end, you provide it at the start when they're in the most pain, when they're in the least amount of comfort. And then over time, you know, they're going through their treatment plan, and then boom, they're feeling good. Then you sell them a prevention plan at the right time, which will allow you to get more take rates and increase your revenue just by doing a few simple things like these 100K a month businesses, local businesses are doing. So that's pretty much it, but we're just going to go over some final notes here. So you need to be consistent with advertising, posting, and your outreach. So whichever channel you're using, go all in on like 1-2 channels max, and just go all in on it and just be consistent and get good at it. And make your ideal customer profile clear. This will just make your advertising way, way better, and it'll make you, convert more people. Use advertising to target this ideal customer profile. So rather than using settings in your ads manager, actually create the creatives that will get them to come in the door, and have an offer that people actually care about, not just generic 10% off. So I'm talking like, obviously it changes from industry to industry, but just not using 10% off. Like, it's not that great. And targeting the different awareness levels so you can get more of the market. And systemizing your sales funnels. So, using that landing page, using the automated follow-up, the email marketing, all that sort of stuff. You can get more people in the door without really having to do anything at all. And upselling the right things at the right times, like we just went over. And having more than one offer for different situations. Like if we're looking back at Macca's, somebody comes in for that burger, and then you try and upsell them for the fries, but maybe they don't want fries, but then you upsell them for nuggets and they take the nuggets. Like, it's just knowing what to do at different times and having the systems in place to allow you to get out of this 15 to 50K per month block. And if you are a local business owner and you want to get out of that 15 to 30K per month and get up towards that 50, 100K per month, then you can hit the link down below in the description to book a call with me. We'll build out a game plan, pretty much looking at all this stuff. We'll go through everything, build out a game plan, and if we're a good fit, we can work together and I'll implement all these systems into your business that you can utilize to get out of that 15 to 30K per month. So thank you so much for watching, and hopefully you've gotten something out of this that you can go and implement, and I'll see you guys soon.